Don't believe everything you read. I wanted to take a few minutes and address some of the headlines that have been popping up in the mainstream media and a lot of junk email that I've been getting. The first is that foreclosures are spiking. The headlines quote that foreclosures have been spiking sharply compared to what they were a year ago, due in large part to the end of the mortgage forbearance programs. And as far as it goes, that much is true. Now, as Paul Harvey used to say, now for the rest of the story. Remember that last year there was a moratorium on foreclosures. There were virtually no foreclosures happening at all, so that any increase would appear as a dramatic uptick. But when you compare September 2021 with September 2019, pre pandemic, you find that foreclosure starts are actually down 70%, according to Adam, the parent company of RealtyTrack. Rick Sharda, the executive vice president of Adam, goes on to explain that the foreclosure activity is increasing, but at a slower rate. Most of the activity is happening is at vacant or abandoned properties, or else loans that were already in foreclosure prior to the pandemic. Another thing to remember is that home prices have jumped up considerably over the past 18 months or so. People that were in trouble are simply selling their houses and, in some cases, walking away with cash in their pockets. My recommendation to those of you looking to buy properties cheap is that you're most likely not going to find them on the foreclosure list. So save your money. Don't buy them. The second item I wanted to talk about is that rising mortgages may negatively affect housing market by causing home sales to dramatically decline. If we take a look at the data from the last 20 years on this chart from Keeping Current Matters, you can see that interest rates increases in 2006, 2013, and again in 2018 had very little impact on the number of homes sold. The biggest impact of home sales occurred during the crash of 2007, but you'll also notice that interest rates were actually falling during the same time. KCM, or Keeping Current Matters, goes on to highlight that home prices are impacted slightly by mortgage rates as money becomes more expensive. That doesn't mean that demand is going to shrink. It just means people aren't going to be able to afford quite as much. Now let's talk about what we can expect in 2022. I saw an article from Fortune magazine posted on November 29 from Lance Lambert that I found interesting and thought I'd share with you. The article looks at 7 different financial models and their prediction for home values next year. Most of the models predict continued increases in home prices over the coming year. Now, just how much is open to a lot of debate. Zillow's thinking continued double-digit growth as much as 13.6%, while Redfin sees a more modest 3% gain. The Mortgage Bankers Association is actually predicting a decrease of 2.5%. So who's right? Who knows? Depends on what happens to the economy in general. The Fed is the group that sets interest rates that ultimately determine mortgage rates. They're expected to increase next year in an attempt to control inflation. How much and how often they tinker with the rates is up for debate. Another unknown is that for the last several years, the Fed has been printing money as part of their economic stimulus plan. Now, many folks are thinking now may be the time to start turning off the faucet that's been pumping new dollars into the economy. That's certainly going to have an effect. Money won't be as plentiful. A third unknown is what effect COVID will continue to have on the economy. That seems to change on a daily basis. And finally, we have no idea what's going to happen with the major spending bills now working their way through the legislature. So, what's going to happen to the housing market in 2022? To blatantly steal a line from the music group Kansas? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. Thanks for watching. Oh, and before I forget, make sure you click on the link below for the events that are scheduled. We have several coming up in January, from how to build your credit or rebuild your credit, how to get your personal finances in order so that you can have the cash and the budget necessary to buy your house, to the actual process of buying a house and how to navigate that in the most efficient way possible. We also have events coming up on the secrets that most real estate agents don't want you to know when it comes to selling your house. So check out the links below in the email body and find a link that looks like something that would interest you. Besides the events that you can link to below is also a link to our Homes for Heroes website. That's where I give money back to first responders, that's police, fire, EMS, military, both active and retired, healthcare professionals, which covers a wide range of our economy, and also teachers, and helping and thanking them for the services that they provide. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you share this video and make it a great day.